What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we have 10 WWE rated R moments in the PG era. Let's get straight onto the list with number 10, the Bella Twins nip slip. On the Monday Night Raw, WWE wanted to promote the debut of Total Divas. They set up a segment with Miss TV, and all of the women that were featured on the show came out. The Total Divas came out dressed up, and towards the end of the segment, they panned on all the women, and Brie Bella had a little slip. Brie was totally unaware of the situation, and after Raw ended, she went on Twitter to apologize to the fans. She shouldn't be apologizing though. Since Nikki Bella and Brie Bella are twins, they do things together. A couple months later, while Brie was feuding with Stephanie McMahon, Stephanie sent out a bunch of women to beat down Brie's sister, and they threw her out of the ring. As she was thrown out of the ring, her top slipped off, and you could see a little bit of something there. Of course, I can't show these, but if you guys want on your own time, do whatever you want. It's not my life. I wonder how many of you guys are gonna pause this right now to make a quick Google search. Number 9, Chris Jericho versus Rebecca. In 2009, when WWE had made the official PG era change, Jericho and Shawn Michaels were in one of the most intense feuds. They had vicious matches as well as amazing promos. In one segment, it was Chris Jericho as well as Shawn Michaels with his wife. Shawn Michaels supposedly had some sort of an injury, and him and his wife were walking away. As they were heading out of the ring, Jericho went to give a cheap shot to the back of Shawn Michaels, and HBK ducked out of the way and Jericho hit his wife in the face. It is very rare to see WWE use men on women violence, and that's why many were very surprised. What made this even worse is that the punch accidentally connected and she got a big bump on her lip. Number 8, The Rock. For this number, I simply have The Rock because whenever he shows up on TV, he goes ahead and does whatever he wants because he is The Rock, and The Rock is a sad. During his feud with John Cena for WrestleMania 28, The Rock would say he will forever be The Rock's or even calling him Compound. Besides calling John Cena multiple times on TV, there was a segment with Lana on an episode of Raw, and The Rock said on TV that Lana came to his hotel one night to give him a surprise, as well as saying that he even said that they got drunk and did special exercises. He said they were doing the one-legged vacuum and the Wisconsin wheelbarrow. Whatever those mean, it doesn't sound too PG in my opinion. Bottom line, when The Rock is on TV, you are bound to see something that will be rated R or TV-14. Number 7, Vince McMahon says whatever he wants. Vince McMahon is the owner of the company. He has the power to literally say and do whatever he wants. During the build-up for his feud between him and his son at this year's WrestleMania, it was getting pretty intense. Shane McMahon would actually talk about how the ratings are dropping and how Vince McMahon is killing the product. Clearly was scripted from Vince himself, but hey, at least Vince knows the truth. Anyways, on a Raw for this feud, they were getting in one another's face, and he actually dropped the F-bomb. Obviously the crowd heard it, while the fans at home heard a nice censor. Vince McMahon said along the lines of how he's going to get a beating, and the crowd went nuts. You can simply search this up on YouTube and find the video easily. Number 6, a double wardrobe malfunction. Usually in the WWE, wardrobe malfunctions happen once in a while. Fans love it and get really excited. Oksana takes the crown for the malfunction queen. Not because she had the most amount of malfunctions, but because she had a double wardrobe malfunction which has never been seen before. Oksana was involved in a 12-woman tag team match on Raw, and as she was crawling to make a tag, Brie Bella grabbed her and pulled her back down. While doing this, you could see her boob as well as her butt crack at the same time. Oksana was later released because WWE had to make room for the new women such as Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte. Number 5, smoking on TV. R-Truth in 2011 completely redefined his career and made himself somewhat of a main eventer for a little bit. Usually in TV shows, people smoke here and there, but not as much as the old days. But when R-Truth decided to smoke a cigarette, it was a very controversial and weird moment. R-Truth finally had it and turned heel on his good friend. After beating up Morrison, R-Truth, as I said earlier, smoked a cigarette, and many were confused, laughing, and some even booed at what was going on. R-Truth ended up the segment by walking up to Morrison's face, who was on the floor. He laughed at him and blew a puff of smoke. Personally, this was really shocking because I would have thought that this would never be done due to secondhand smoke, but apparently it got the green light to go. I highly doubt we will see this again with R-Truth because he's too busy playing Pokemon Go with Goldust. Number 4, Daniel Bryan's new submission. Daniel Bryan is one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time in the WWE. But before he found his love with the WWE Universe, he made his way on the main roster as a heel. He was a part of a huge debut of the Nexus when they destroyed the WWE on that infamous night. It was John Cena versus CM Punk as the main event for an episode of Monday Night Raw, and all of a sudden these guys came out of nowhere and destroyed everything. From beating up John Cena and Punk to tearing up the arena, they went for everything in sight. At one point, Daniel Bryan beat up Justin Roberts and wrapped his tie around his neck and continued to choke him. WWE has banned any sort of thing like this because of the whole Chris Benoit situation, and therefore they were extremely angry at this representation. Daniel Bryan was later fired, and we never saw another wrestler choke someone out with a tie. Number 3, Paige and AJ Lee. When Paige made her WWE debut, she was on top of the women's division. She was literally the Divas champion on her WWE debut. She defeated AJ Lee for the title, and they were involved in one weird storyline. But it wasn't your typical storyline. It was more of some weird lesbian angle. I was really confused on what was going on, to be honest. Oftentimes, Paige would get AJ jealous by looking at other women and going for some pins that were way too sexual. AJ tagged her by slapping her boob. Paige would kiss AJ Lee and get on top of her. It was way too much for a show that is supposed to be PG, and it felt like something that should be rated R. Number 2, Brock Lesnar destroys Randy Orton. This is one of the most recent ones on the list because it happened just a little over a month ago, and it was at SummerSlam. One of the most anticipated matches of all time, and that match was a complete letdown. But the finish of the fight was a strange one. Lesnar destroyed Orton and hit him with many elbows to the forehead. He hit him for real and ended up opening a huge cut. While Orton was busted open, Lesnar continued to do the damage, hitting his forehead repeatedly. Besides the blood, this moment was even more brutalizing because the elbows looked very real and some of them were actually real while Orton was helpless. And number 1, Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels. Chris Jericho makes this list yet again with Shawn Michaels. Shawn and Jericho were having a match at the Great American Bash, and they begged Vince McMahon to use blood. McMahon agreed and said they could use some blood. After Jericho hit Michaels with an elbow, HBK bladed himself way too deep, which caused more blood than expected. His entire face was covered with blood, which made the match look even more brutal. Because of this match, both Shawn and Jericho think that this is the reason why blood was banned, because they went more than how much Vince McMahon wanted. But what a way to go out and say one last goodbye to blood. As always, thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at WWE. If you want 10% off your next Slam Crate from Loot Crate, use the discount code WWE. Also, check out my other channel, Official Life Facts. Take care and spike your hair.